It is always inspiring to read stories about people who went from zero to hero. Larry Ellison is one of them. Coming from a relatively low-income family, Larry Ellison managed to climb up the ladder of success. Now, he is one of the world's wealthiest people, with a fortune of over $100 billion. Larry Ellison will remain in history as the co-founder of Oracle Corporation, one of the biggest software companies in the world. Forever undermined by an adoptive father, Ellison was often told by him that he was good for nothing and never would be. When asked about his stepfather, undeterred, Ellison said, "Oh, it was powerful motivation. I think my dad had a wonderful effect on me. Here is a man who has gone from jumping jobs with lightweight pockets to having more money than fingers can count." When asked about his billionaire status, Ellison said, "Whatever I want, I get. That's the beauty of being worth billions. I thoroughly recommend it." Ellison has claimed that becoming rich was never his intention. With Oracle, he wanted to create an atmosphere where he could enjoy the work he loved and make a living. Now, in his 70s, he still finds his success hard to believe. Larry Ellison said, "I certainly never expected to become rich. Certainly not this rich. I mean, rich does not even describe this. This is surreal." Larry Ellison was raised by a working-class single mother named Florence Spellman. When he was 9 months old, baby Larry came down with pneumonia. His mom sent him to Chicago to live with his aunt and uncle, Lillian and Louis Ellison. Always at odds with his stepfather, Ellison's relationship with him didn't improve when he dropped out of college twice, first from the University of Illinois upon the death of his adoptive mother, and then from the University of Chicago after the very term. In the prime of his youth, Ellison moved to California with a small amount of cash and spent the next few years working several jobs. Having never taken a single computer science course in his life, Ellison turned to his own mind for a reliable teacher when he got a job as a programmer. Ellison said, "I was largely self-taught. I just picked up a book and started programming." Ellison bounced around from job to job, including stints at companies like Wells Fargo and the mainframe manufacturer Amdahl. The turning point came when Ellison came to work for the electronics company Ampex. This is where he found a home within the digital world. He worked on several projects there, one of which was successfully building the first IBM-compatible mainframe system. In 1977, Ellison and partners Bob Miner and Ed Oates founded a new company, Software Development Laboratories, SDL. The company started with $2,000 of funding, $1,200 of which came out of Ellison's own pocket. The path-turning project, however, was the relational database design which he code-named Oracle. Ellison and company were inspired by IBM computer scientist Edgar F. Codd's theories for a so-called relational database, a way for computer systems to store and access information. Nowadays, they're taken for granted, but in the 70s, they were a revolutionary idea. Ellison and his team knew that the first version of a brand new product would not have many takers. The first version of the product they released was, in fact, Oracle version 2.0, a street smartness that played in their favor. It was this sheep in the guise of a wolf temperament that gave them their first customer, the CIA. The Oracle system they had designed shot to popularity when IBM used it to run its mainframe system. After 7 years of consistently growing sales, being known for innovation and aggressive marketing, Larry Ellison renamed the company in 1982 Oracle Systems Corporation after its flagship product. As one of the key drivers of the growing computer industry, Oracle grew rapidly throughout the 1980s. In 1986, Oracle had its initial public offering, reporting revenue of $55 million. In 1990, Oracle had to lay off 10% of its workforce, about 400 people, because of what Ellison later described as an incredible business mistake. The problem was, Oracle had allowed its salespeople to book future sales in the current quarter, meaning all its sales numbers were distorted. It resulted in lawsuits and trouble with regulators. After adjusting for that huge error, Oracle was said to be close to bankruptcy. At the same time, rivals like Cybus were eating away at Oracle's market share. It took a few years, but by 1992, Ellison and Oracle managed to right the course with new employees and the popular Oracle 7 database. Ellison is known for his willingness to trash-talk competitors. For much of the 90s, he and Oracle were locked in a public relations battle with the competitor Informix, which went so far as to place a dinosaur crossing billboard outside Oracle's Silicon Valley offices at one point. But Oracle just kept steamrolling over the competition, and with Ellison as Oracle's major shareholder, his millions kept rolling in. In 1999, Ellison's protege, Mark Benioff, left Oracle to work on a new startup called Salesforce.com. Ellison was an early investor, putting $2 million into his friend's new venture. When Benioff found out that Ellison had Oracle working on a direct competitor to Salesforce's product, he tried to force his mentor to quit Salesforce's board. Instead, Ellison forced Benioff to fire him, meaning Ellison kept his shares in Salesforce. Given that Salesforce is now a $115 billion company, Ellison personally profits even when his competitors do well. It has led to a love-hate relationship between the two executives that continues to this day, with the two taking shots at each other in the press. In fact, Salesforce aside, the dot-com boom of the late 90s benefited Oracle too. All of those new dot-com companies needed databases, and Oracle was there to sell them. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple as CEO in 1997, he asked Ellison to sit on the board. Ellison stuck around for a while, but felt that he couldn't devote the time. Ellison was able to lead Oracle through a spending spree once the dot-com boom was over and startups' prices were low. For example, in 2004, Oracle snapped up the HR software provider PeopleSoft for $10.3 billion. And in 2010, Oracle bought Sun Microsystems, a server company that started at about the same time as Oracle. That acquisition gave Oracle lots of key technology, including control over the popular MySQL database. Back in 1998, Ellison had made a $125 million investment in ex-Oracle exec Evan Goldberg's startup business management software firm, NetSuite. It ended up working out well for Ellison when NetSuite CEO Zach Nelson negotiated the sale of the company to Oracle for $9.3 billion, netting Ellison a cool $3.5 billion in cash for his stake. Ellison didn't become a billionaire until age 49. Now, he has a net worth of $75.7 billion. That makes him the fifth richest person in the world.